almost 2.5 hours before they, I would say, probably put the pads back on tomorrow.
They need to put the pads back on tomorrow. They're putting the pads back on tomorrow so that they can get ready for this joint practice. I'm expecting, Zach, for it to be a lot more physical, aggressive, fast-paced tomorrow, and then you go into a walkthrough Wednesday, get on the plane. Thursday, you have another hard-hitting, grueling day of practice, and then Friday, walkthrough, Saturday, you put it all out there on the football field so you can be evaluated the right way.
Man, I cannot wait to hear some of the observations from joint practice, but truly that preseason game on Saturday is going to tell us so much. It really will. And can't wait to just peel back this next layer of the Broncos season. It's such an anticipated season. It's along with the 22 season, which turned out to be an absolute flop, and we knew pretty soon. Really, since Super Bowl 50, this season being able to draw from substance heading into the campaign in a way that they just simply weren't able to do. Now, someone like me was, I thought Case Keenum once upon a time could stabilize the quarterback position, or maybe someone thought that Flacco is still in his prime, and I know Elway did. And so there's been
holding hope that
yes.
things were going to change. I mean, I was on those teams like I was hoping too.
Sure.
Case, I was young and dumb. I was just happy to be out there. Then we got Flacco. I was like, okay, we brought in a quarterback that has won a Super Bowl. He can teach us a thing or two, and we can win a lot more games, at least 9, and that wasn't the case.
But this time around, you've seen the same group that we're watching, go out there and to a certain extent do it and win 10 games and go to the playoffs. So we know it's the first time in a decade that the Broncos have returned the coach and the quarterback, as well as the general manager, as well as both coordinators, as well as the O-line. I mean, the continuity, there's no one that has more continuity in the NFL than the Broncos. But Sean, and you got to love him, okay? Because, one, we wouldn't be having conversations like the ones that we're having without Sean Payton, okay? So I think
shout out Sean.
We're thankful that Sean Payton is in Denver.
Yeah.
Okay? But he sometimes can just get excited, just like we all can. He's a human being. And when he gets excited, he likes to talk. And it started earlier in the offseason to Kay Adams, we're going to be a problem, right? But now he's taking it maybe even a step further, all right? And I think in a lot of ways it's healthy, but you are framing expectations at the highest level when you tell Charles Robinson of Yahoo, and I'm assuming this was over the weekend because it got published today. He said, quote, "The short-term goal is winning the division, but this is a team capable of winning the Super Bowl. I've coached 6 teams that I thought could win the Super Bowl. Some went to championship games, some went to playoffs. This is my 7th team that I think has that," end quote. Now,
Ooh-wee.
I know Sean has referenced, he actually didn't say the Super Bowl, but you remember he didn't actually verbalize the phrase Super Bowl when he addressed it earlier, but earlier in training camp when he said we can't be afraid to reference the final goal, like the final stage.
Yeah, which is the Super Bowl.
Now he's getting more specific and detailed with it. That our short-term goal is winning the division. But this team can win the Super Bowl, and I've coached 6 teams that I thought could win it. And not all of them did. Obviously, only one of them did. But this is the 7th time. And that right there is very, very exciting. Because Sean Payton, this dude knows what the hell he's talking about. But it's also could be viewed as like calling your shot or just talking when you can let the actions do the talking. And I know some people will take it that way.
Well, Zach, when you say hey, he knows what he's talking about, why are you so excited? Why are you so confident?
Yeah, because this is the same guy that said, yeah, you want to know what? We're going to be really good at this evaluating quarterback thing. And we're going to be so good. We're thankful that others aren't good at it. When I'm like, whoa, dude, you've never done what you are saying you're about to do. And then he goes and hits on Bo. And then when the win total comes out and it's 5.5 last year, and he tells Jeff Duncan down in New Orleans, yeah, buddy, the next time I win 6 games will be the first time.
I love that one. I love that line.
And then he goes and wins 10 games. Typically, Sean's not a god. He's a man. He bleeds. He gets stuff wrong, right? But, man, when he says something with this kind of conviction, I have a tendency to let his past history break ties with how I feel about it, and I get excited.
I mean, at this point, when Sean talks, we listen. Because Sean has hit on all the things you just talked about. He has coached in a lot of big-time games. He has won a Super Bowl before. So why wouldn't we listen to him when Sean goes out there and he's confident in his team? Sean knows best when it comes to his team, when it comes to his scheme. He's excited because of the type of players that he brought on free agency and also during the draft. He's excited that he has an owner that believes in him and willing to fork up money to keep people like Zach Allen and Cortland Sutton. And maybe soon here, we may get some word about Nick Bonito. Who knows?
Sure.
So for Sean to go out there and pretty much call his shot again, we should all be excited because of the confidence that man has. Because this is what you're seeing in Sean that the players see in him all the time, is that he is not afraid to talk about the big things. He is not afraid to get outside the box and make people uncomfortable. And now his team feels the same way. And now when you go out there on Sundays, you're not afraid of anybody. You're not afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs. You're not going to be afraid of the Philadelphia Eagles. Because deep down inside, you're like, why not us? We have the pieces to do it as well. You got to stay healthy, and you got to listen to what Sean wants done. And Sean's a great teacher. We see it all the time where he's stopped in practice. He's very detailed.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that because he's been through so much, certain games where it's like, hey, if we would have done this just a little bit better, we would have probably been in a Super Bowl. And what I'm looking at and thinking of is when, was it 2017, Zach? 18 when the Saints end up getting
I think
messed
it was 17.
up by the referees?
Yeah, it was 17 or 18, yeah.
That stopped them from pretty much going to a Super Bowl. They had the team to do it. And so now for Sean, it's like, hey, this team that I have today feels like one of the New Orleans Saints teams that I had that got to the playoffs and got to a Super Bowl. Well, so he's just excited.
Yeah, he is. Now, I'm going to ask the question just to ask the question, okay, just for the sake of asking it. Is there any part of you that wishes that he would just stay a little bit more quiet, say this stuff to the team because you're just drawing a target on your back? Is there any part of you that like, hey, you can say about, maybe not into a microphone that, it's a national publication or whatever. Like,
no, you know what, Zach? No. Like, no, this is who Sean is. Like, be who you are.
Sure, I like that.
Have confidence in yourself. Have confidence in your team.
This is who he is.
And so when like I said, when your team is looking at you and like, oh, this is what you believe, you truly believe we can do it, you're not just saying it, speaking it to the media, like you truly believe we can do it, let's follow you. Let's go out there and show the world we can do it. It's bringing belief into your team and having the confidence that, hey, look, I have so much confidence in you guys, all right, being your coach, that I know that you're going to make me look good on Sundays. And then you go out there and you execute. So for Sean, it's like, why hold your tongue now? It's never been Sean before, so why do it now?
Right.
I love it. It's like putting pressure on your team to go out there and do it, putting pressure on yourself. Sean, it's not just about the players now. You have everything you have all the ingredients to make a really, really good recipe, really, really good dish. But now it's on you as a play caller and as a head coach. Now it's on you to make sure you're putting people in the right situations to be successful. Now it's on you to have set up plays for explosives. Now it's on you to go out there and show the world that the Denver Broncos are back. So no, Sean, don't hold your tongue. Speak the talk. Speak your speak, or whatever you want to call it.
Talk your talk.
Talk your talk.
Yeah.
I really want to say a different word.
Yeah, I know.
You got me fired up.
I know.
And go out there and prove to the world that you're all about it, that you're real, that the Denver Broncos are back.
Well, he said to Charles Robinson of Yahoo, we're a little bit like that new facility. It's coming.
Ooh.
Sounds a little bit like Dion, right? We coming. He has said it in another way. He has used the building analogy. We've talked about it. But him saying, it's coming. Him saying, we're going to be a problem. All right? He told Charles Robinson of Yahoo, I like this team a lot. All right? And it turns out that he brought up the Super Bowl in their very first meeting as a team this year, which doesn't shock me at all. It doesn't shock me at all. He said, I've talked about a Super Bowl. And Charles Robinson said, since when? He said, first meeting I had with them. First meeting. And so today at the press conference, said, okay, like I got to ask about these quotes that were just sort of popping out while we were literally standing out at practice. And I said, hey, you told Charles Robinson of Yahoo 6 other times you felt like this. This is the 7th time. What attributes or hallmarks are you seeing in this team that you saw in years past with those other teams? And this is what he said.
Well, obviously, it has to start with quarterback. It has to start with defense. It has to start with offensive line. Like there's certain things that if they're not on point, it's hard to make a statement like that. When you look at some of these critical factors, and look, I told them that, and now that just means you have a chance. And then I would say most importantly, ownership, because there's 20 that each year have hope and dreams, and they're dysfunctional at the top.
Now, I thought that was fascinating at the end there. It's like, yeah, he gave you some football stuff. Well, it starts with the quarterback, and then you got to have a good defense, and you got to be able to have an offensive line. But them saying, like, really, where it starts is ownership. And there's 20 teams every year who are all excited, but we know they don't have a shot because they don't have good ownership. And I think that is a fascinating end to that answer. We know what we have here in Denver with Greg Penner and Carey. And I wonder, one, what did you just think of the response? But also, who do you think he's thinking about in his own mind's eye when he says that statement